Hello everyone, I'm Nizzahon here recording another draft for the Aether Hub. As you can see, we have a new very cool overlay that Sybin made for my draft videos. Let us know in the comments what you think of it, and I'll be back with you guys when this draft fires. Alright, so this is our first pack. It is a pretty strong one. Mouth to Feed is a pretty strong card. Between making you a Hippo token that's pretty nice for its size in the lake and drawing you cards, it's quite good. Oketra's Attendant is good because you can cycle it late and you can play it early. I mean, you can cycle it early and play it late, and then it also has Embalm, so you can get it two different ways. Weaver of Currents is a great gold card, and Compulsory Rest is a pretty strong white card. But I think Mouth to Feed's probably the pick here. I think it's better than Rest or Attendant, though the Attendant's close. We will take Mouth to Feed. Okay, Shefet Monitor isn't something I mind seeing right after taking a Mouth to Feed. Takrop Elite is quite good, so it's worth thinking about, but I like Shefet Monitor more. So I think I'm going to take it. I like that it fixes me. I like that it's a big green creature that we can ramp into. If that blue-green gold card comes back, we'll be really happy. The way this draft has started anyway. I mean, things could change. Okay, well now we have a Takrop Elite, and now we probably take it. Probably even over Trueheart Duelist. It is a very strong card when you can just curve out and play Takrop Elite and exert it. Scattered Groves is fine. Wouldn't mind it coming back. Same with Winged Shepherd. The green cards here aren't very good, though, so yeah, we'll take the Elite. Okay, so, again, green cards here are not great. Soul Stinger's good, and Vizier of Deferment is good. Synchronized Strike is an okay green card, but you have to be in a pretty heavy creature deck for it to work out, and I don't like taking it before I know that's where we're going to end up. And it may even end up that green is not open enough for us to play these two cards, which would be pretty sad, but right now it's kind of looking that way. But Soul Stinger and Vizier of Deferment are what I'm looking at here. I think because I already have a white card, I'll just take the Vizier. She just does a lot of work, removing cartouches, making combat tricks not work, saving your guys from removal spells. I like the Vizier a lot, and that's what we'll take here. Okay, Hooded Brawler is pretty good. So is Cartouche of Ambition. So is Unwavering Initiate. But I think I'm going to take the green card here and try to cut green so that maybe green flows a little better in the next pack. I think it's better than Unwavering Initiate anyway. Cartouche of Ambition might be better than the Brawler, but we're already pretty deep into green, so I do not mind more green. I'm going to put Mouth here since it's basically a 3-drop. I mean, it's not like some of the gold cards where you always want to cast both halves. Okay, I think I take Fanbearer over Compulsory Arrest here. So that is what I'll do. It's just a very, very good card. I'm kind of surprised it's here this late, but there could have been some other strong cards in this pack. Basically, all the uncommons and the rare are gone, so Fanbearer it is. But what I was saying is some of the Aftermath cards, you really want to cast both in the same turn, and this one you don't really have to. Most of the time, you're just going to cast Mouth first. All right, well, we'll take another Fanbearer. White seems open enough. Whether green is the question. Okay, Weaver of Currents came back, but the bad news is green has not seemed open enough for us to want to do that, especially because we've picked up 4 fairly strong white cards. And I think I'm going to take another Vizier of Deferment here. Don't think we're going to end up enough zombies for Time to Reflect, and Vizier of Deferment just does a lot more work. Okay, well, another Weaver of Currents. God, I wish green had been open enough. Then a blue-green ramp deck would have been awesome. But I don't think it is. It may not. We may end up not even playing green the way things are looking. I think we take Winged Shepherd because it does look like we're playing white. And Winged Shepherd's fine. You can cycle it early, play it late. Okay, Sacred Cat's not bad if we have a lot of ways of pumping our whole team. Jero's Resolve is an okay trick if you have enough Exert going on. And the Khopesh is okay, but I think I'll take the cat here. Could end up morphing into like a zombie deck, in which case the cat would be better because... yeah, green does not look open. We tried to make it open, and maybe it'll flow better from this side, because these 3 cards are all things I'm pretty happy to be playing. So hopefully we can make that happen. Okay, well I talked about potentially morphing into a zombie deck, and Wayward Servant Wheeling is something that makes me want to think about doing that, so let's take it. We didn't have anything else in that pack anyway. Wayward Servant's quite good if you end up in a zombie deck. We already have 2.5 zombies, and we weren't even really trying. So we could end up being a zombie deck instead. And there's another zombie. So we're going to think about going zombies. I like Winds of Rebuke. Okay. Yeah, blue seemed open enough, but green did not. So those poor Naga Vitalists. I mean, somebody probably got them and is very happy. But let's stick these over here for now, unless we see something really crazy happen in this pack that makes us really want to go back into being green. Well, really? I was just saying, you know, maybe something crazy will happen and make us want to go back into green. Honored Hydra is that thing. So it is worth thinking about. It's also splashable. This pack is very, very, very strong, though. One of the stronger packs I've seen. Between Hooded Hydra, Edifice of Authority, Compulsory Rest, Gustwalker, and Talkrop Elite, those are all cards that I've first picked before and felt okay or better about. So that's pretty nuts. I mean, I think the Hydra's strong enough. We got to consider pushing ourselves back into green. I love Edifice of Authority, but the Hydra's just better. Gustwalker and Compulsory Rest are great in a deck like ours, and so is Talkrop Elite, so is True Heart Duelist. But Honored Hydra is just gonna be a monster, so we'll take him. See what happens. Okay, well, there's another Talkrop Elite. Maybe we take that. Onri Kudu isn't too bad. It does give us, you know, another green card, but I'd probably just take another Talkrop Elite over, like, you know, I have Doom Dissenter too for thinking about black, but I think I like Talkrop Elite more than the Kudu here, and Inoketra's name. Okay, Cartouche of Strength. Okay, green is back on, my friends. When you see a Cartouche of Strength, we could splash something, but neither of those are cards we want to splash. Because we have Chef Monitor, we can splash, what I mean to say. But yes, we definitely take our Cartouche of Strength here. Wouldn't mind Colossopede, Initiate's Companion, or Renewed Faith, or the Spearmaster coming back. I'll take any of those. We need some 2s. We do have 3 1s, so, you know, they kind of are... They may as well be 2s, because they can do things, and Fanbear especially does things all game long. This, a lot of the time, doesn't. And in an ideal world, it'll probably get cut from our deck, unless we end up with tons of board pumping. And we do have 2 Talkrop Elites, but I don't play Sacred Cat super frequently. I play it more frequently in a zombie deck. Oh, I love Bounty of the Luxa. The world keeps telling me that, you know, maybe I should have been in blue-green. Would have had more of a ramp thing going on. Okay, so we can take a Colossopede, but I kind of feel like we're good on big monsters at this point. What we really need is to make our curve better. So I think I'm going to take the Companion over Impeccable Timing, which is an okay trick. It's basically a trick. It's a removal spell, but most of the time it functions as a trick. I'll just take the 2-drop, though. Okay, Bitterblade Warrior is pretty good 2-drop, and I'll take it here over another Companion or an Ornery Kudu. These 2 cards are both quite good, but we are sticking to our guns in green here. Okay, another Initiate's Companion or a Hooded Brawler. Probably Brawler is the best. I don't like Watchful Naga very much. It gets a little better in blue-green because you can give it flying in a couple different ways with the Zenith Seeker and Cartouche, the blue Cartouche, but it's pretty bad in a deck where you're just trying to attack because it doesn't get bigger. You want your Exerters to do something impressive when they exert themselves, and it just doesn't. Okay, maybe we want a combat trick here. Our deck is looking to be fairly aggressive, though we do have some high curve action going on. I like Shed Weakness more than Mighty Leap, and I think I take it over Stinging Shot, which is fine, but I think I'll take the Shed Weakness here. Well, there's Zenith Seeker, which I just mentioned. I guess here we just take an Anointer Priest, who's fine and might make the cut. It is a 2-drop. Okay, the green, white, gold card came back to us, and we will take it happily over a Spearmaster. So our deck is, you know, it's not like the ideal aggro deck in this format. Those decks are like 3 drops and lower. We've definitely got some higher curve stuff going on. But we have a pretty nice early game too, so I think our deck will be able to hold off aggro decks, and then in the late game just go over them with stuff like Honored Hydra, who's just way too much value, and you know, the feed half of Mouth to Feed will just give us enough gas to win. Worth noting that our Hooded Brawlers and our Talkrop Elites when they exert themselves, and our Initiate's Companion, oh, it already has 3. Bitterblade Warrior when it exerts itself, all of those can get to 3 power when I need them to, basically. I'll take a Manglehorn for my sideboard in case I run into an Edifice of Authority. Okay, Colossopede came back. I will take that. You know, we could have been blue-green because green ended up being so open in this pack, and I think a blue-green deck probably would have been better, but the signals we got in that first pack really made us not want to be in green, and so maybe I should have speculated and picked up, I'll take an impeccable timing. Maybe I should have speculated and picked up another Nizzahon. The blue-green gold card, just been like, you know, it's a good card. If we end up in that color pair, it'll be great. But at the same time, in white, we've picked up some pretty good cards, although less so in this pack than in the first one. Either path, I think, is defensible, but maybe in the late going of those packs, I should have taken the Naga because the things we picked up weren't anything special, right? I mean, we took a Wayward Servant over one of them, I think, because we speculated that black would be more open. Now, speaking of black, there's Bantu. Obviously, we're not going to play him. He's not easy to play. He's easy to splash, but you really need to have a deck built around him. Unlike the other gods who can just sort of always be good, Bantu needs a deck built around him, basically. Warfire Javelineer, a very strong card if we're blue-red spells. I think we're probably just taking the green cartouche, though. We should think about picking up Trials if we ever see them. Hooded Brawler, if it comes back, would be another card I wouldn't mind having another copy of. Okay, so this pack is not very interesting. We're just going to take a boring 2-drop. I like it more than Watchful Naga, and it makes cards like Splendid Agony worse, which occasionally matters. And we do need 2s. Ret Crop Spearmaster is good too, but I think I'm going to take the Vizier here over it. Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Man, this pack, what is up with this pack? Drake Haven's like my favorite card in the format. Obviously, we're not playing it, but someone's going to be happy to have it. Trial of Solidarity, True Heart Duelist, and Fanbearer, all cards I would want one copy of in my deck. But we're going to take the Trial here. You know, we have tons of creatures, and we have 2 cartouches, so it's pretty hard to say no to. Oh, wow. Glorybound Initiate that late, huh? So Naga Vitalist can help us ramp. Greater Sandworm's nice. Stir the Sands is good. But Glorybound Initiate is what we want for our deck the most. It is a great card. I think actually Stir the Sands is like better in a vacuum, but Glorybound Initiate is very, very good in our deck. And Naga Vitalist wouldn't be bad either. We do have some top curve. We may end up trimming some of it, though, the parts of it that don't have cycling, basically, and aren't Honored Hydra. Because we may try to just go full-on aggro here, but we definitely take Glorybound Initiate. Life gain is good. We have another cartouche here. We could try to splash blue with our Sheffet Monitor, but that doesn't really seem worth it. So I'll probably take the cartouche here. Yeah. 2 cartouches, 3 cartouches and 1 trial. It's not too bad. Okay, so here, what do we want? I don't know. Another Sacred Cat or another Winged Shepherd or another Colossopede. Probably not Pouncing Cheetah. Our 3s are all just way better than he is. Granted, if our deck's more aggressive, the Vizier's not going to be quite as good as it once would have been in this deck. But you can actually use it to make Exerters attack again, and you can make it more aggressive if you want to. I don't know. I guess I'll take a cat, just because we seem to be pushing more and more towards the lower curve. And 1 Colossopede and 1 Winged Shepherd is probably good enough. So we'll take a cat, I guess. I don't know if I'd play any of those cards. Okay, we are going to take another On-Crop Champion, though. Going to be a little hard to trim this deck. I mean, you should play, by the way. I mean, I know we're nearing the end of the format. You probably know this, but anytime you're only playing 1 color of one of these lands, it's still worth playing. And I think we'll take it over, you know, a bunch of nothing for us, basically. So I'm probably not going to play Impeccable Timing. Might not play the Initiate's Companions either anymore, although they're all right. Maybe I cut 1 Sacred Cat and 1 Companion. And then probably Colossopede isn't something we're interested in this particular deck. But it looks like a pretty good green-white Exert deck to me. We even have 2 of the gold card. Wow, blue ended up being really open. I guess I'll just take an Evolving Wilds here. It is, you know, I could take Trial of Knowledge, I guess, and splash it, but we don't want to do that. I'll take the Wilds. It's worth playing even when you're just 2 colors. It just makes your mana better. It's a source of both, so we'll play it happily. You know, I think, especially because we don't have anything that puts -1/-1 counters on our guys, Initiate's Companion might just be better than Vizier of Remedies for us. Okay, Benefaction of Ronas. We don't have enough enchantments for that, I don't think. We're close, though. We have 4. Usually I want 5 to play that. But I would usually not want it in an aggressive deck anyway. So, can we get away with 16 lands even though we're running Honored Hydra? So the Shafet Monitor is like a 4. I'm thinking about cutting him now, which is sad because he was like our second pick. But our deck sort of morphed into a much more aggressive one. And we're not splashing anything. So that part of him is irrelevant. We are just going to be playing guys and turning them sideways for the most part. And this has cycling early, much earlier than Sheffitt Monitor does. Wow, we could have splashed. We could have splashed hard. Should have taken that Bantu, I guess. Okay, well that Naga Vitalist came back, which is kind of insane. Green ended up being very open. And blue-green was probably the most open color pair. So I kind of regret the... I love that deck, too. We saw Bounty of the Luxa. We saw Drake Haven. We saw 2 Naga... not Vitalist, that's what we got, but the one who... The blue-green gold card who taps for mana. 2 mana, specifically. That's crazy, but I do like that Naga Vitalist here late. We may end up actually cutting a Vizier, like I mentioned. That's another card we took early before we ended up realizing how aggressive we could be. And that probably also applies to Anointer Priest. So let's get these 3 lands out of here for a second. So, would I rather have a Shafet Monitor and lose? Yeah, like Vizier. And Sheffitt Monitor. And then I think I can run 16 lands if that's what I do. And we can keep in mind, like, if we go up against an opponent who has a lot of auras or a lot of combat tricks, the Vizier gets better. We can keep it in mind out of our sideboard. We still have 1 in our main board. But I think we can get away with 16 lands now with this deck. I think we got there. We have 18 creatures, which is great when you have 2 Talkrop Elites and a Trial of Solidarity. We could think about cutting a Priest, but what would we put in? I'd rather have like a more aggressive creature there, but we don't really have one. Maybe a Vizier of Remedies, I guess. Again, we could look at that. I don't really want a second Sacred Cat right this second. We don't have that many creatures with Embalm. We've got our Hydra, of course. Yeah, I think we could probably feel a little better about Vizier of Remedies as our 2-drop rather than Anointer Priest. Yeah, this looks good. This is like a literal mana curve, you know, that you don't always see them these days when people talk about curves, but this is actually a curve. So, yeah, we could also think about cutting the cat for the Anointer Priest, but 1 cat seems fine in a deck with Trial and 2 Talkrop Elites. Yeah, so this will be the deck. I like having the 1 trick that we have and our cartouches as removal. And now we need lands. In fact, I think in the end, yeah, green may have ended up being more open than white, which is kind of funny. All right. We could also think about just cutting Winged Shepherd, but I like it. I like having another late game creature that can actually do something in the late game if we get there. So we'll hold on to it. Okay, 8 and 8 is... Oh, right. Right. Yeah, we have these things going on. So... We 7 and 6. We don't have double colored anything. And we already have 1 other white source. And then, yeah, I think we'd rather just be equal. Well, actually, this still means we have a little more white than we do green, but that's fine. That is fine. And we only added 15 lands anyway, so, because I'm good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we will add, we want another forest and another plains. I guess we'll go with another forest. Yeah, 16 lands seems good. Our draft sort of took a turn into a much more aggressive deck than it looked like we'd be in early, but I like it. It looks nice. So I'll see you guys in the first match. All right, well, we're going to the first match of an Amonkhet draft, and this is a very good hand. We have we can curve out a couple of different ways, but we can curve out for sure. I like that. Glorybound Initiate's the kind of creature I think we just want to play it on turn 2. If our opponent can't kill it, it's just going to quickly create issues for our opponent. We're going to gain a ton of life, and so forth. Definitely Fanbearer turn 1, and we hold on to the Companion for later. And then Mouth on turn 3 probably. And if we still have 2 3-power creatures in play, if we just like draw all lands here, we can even just cast Feed on turn 4 and draw a couple cards. Okay, our opponent is in the super aggro deck where you actually want Bloodlust Insider. Which is not usually the kind of card you think would be good, but this format has some very aggressive decks in it. It ended up being way faster than people thought. People, including myself in the early days, were drafting dirtily decks and doing well, but people have caught on since the Pro Tour especially to how aggressive this format can be. Like this, for example. Our opponent's going to swing for 4 on turn 2. So... And he didn't even discard a card where he really lost value. He just discarded a Talkrop Skirmisher. So it hurts for sure. We're going to take it. Instead of playing our Evolving Wilds, which we may do next turn, I'm going to play Glorybound Initiate. And I think I'm just going to attack with my Fanbearer here. See if our opponent can come up with an answer for the Initiate. If not, I mean, we can just race them. He can also just block it with his Blood Rage Brawler, which is kind of gross, but... You know, we will attack. We've got Trial of Solidarity, though, which could help us push through more damage. So blue-red isn't usually where you see these super aggro decks. Our opponent might be like the Slitherblade, the 7 Slitherblade deck. That is a thing. You just put like cartouches on your Slitherblades, and they're unblockable, and somehow it actually ended up being a viable-ish deck. I do think people are pushing it a little too hard in this format, but it's whatever. So I'll take 4 here. There's like no good reason for me to block at all, so we shall not. Okay, so our opponent may have a way to bounce our Initiate. The 2-mana bounce spell could be what they have, but we're gonna attack and exert our Initiate. Then I'll probably play Mouth either way. If our opponent's holding up Essence Scatter, Mouth helps us get around that, which is pretty nice. All right, the opponent's just going to take it. I go up to 16. And yeah, we're going to play the land here so that I can just cast Mouth. I could just leave mana up, but I want to develop my board. All right, and I'll end my turn. So we've got a big Trial of Solidarity turn in our future. Probably play the Wilds this turn just so we can get rid of, you know, having to play a land tapped for a turn. Also thins out our deck slightly, you know. We're running 16 lands, but when 2 of them are Evolving Wilds, it makes you flat out even less. So that's good. Opponent deep in thought here. They may have, what's it called? Gale Strike, which would bounce our Glorybound Initiate. But you don't really want to cast it now, because then I would have a blocker next turn. So I'm going to take 4 again. I'm down with taking 4. This turn I'll probably play... Well, I might actually want to play my land. Okay, Illusory Wrappings. Interesting decision on what to wrap. All right, so I think I am actually going to play land because I want to be able to play Initiate's Companion and keep up mana for Fanbearer. So that is what I'll do. And then next turn we have a potentially large Trial of Solidarity turn. So in my turn, my Hippo's not worth much now. It's basically just a chump blocker. So I did this because it's like if my opponent plays the red cartouche here, the blue cartouche, I would have been in like a world of hurt. And now if he does that, it's not that big of a deal. So we're going to tap down the Brawler. If I could ever get enough mana to cast Trial of Solidarity and Feed from my graveyard, that would be insane. It's not that much mana. It's only 7. I mean, we're not that far away from it, honestly. That would be a turn for the ages. Swing for a bunch and draw 4-ish cards. The Hippo won't get big enough anymore. Poor guy. He's still going to be a 2-3 with Vigilance, though, when we play our Trial. All right. Okay, so the opponent just ended their turn. Do they have counter magic? That's kind of what this comes down to. And let's find out. If it's Gale Strike, they're going to be really disappointed because I'm going to give my whole team Vigilance. So, yeah. So we're going to cast Trial of Solidarity. See what our opponent does. Could be an Electrify, which would have an impact. They would probably kill my Initiate. Yeah, they would definitely kill my Initiate. If they have Electrify or Magma Spray, that's what would die. Because it's about to be able to swing for 6 life gain. Our opponent had the option to just embalm this, so they almost definitely have something in their hand. Yeah, okay, so they are going to electrify the Glory-Bound Initiate, which is not ideal. And I still get to attack with everything pretty hard, though. I guess he probably blocks the 5, takes 5. And we'll leave mana up so that we can use Fanbearer again. Haven't had time to play that Evolving Wilds. So embalming a Skirmisher here is a pretty solid move because none of my creatures are very big. Minotaur Sure Shot. Okay. So something gross I can do right now is tap down a creature on my turn, attack with Initiate's Companion, tap this down, untap my Fanbearer, and still be able to use Fanbearer. So it's probably what I'm going to do, especially if I draw another land, and we do. So it's time to use our Mana Sink, I guess. So we're going to go tap. We're going to attack. We will untap our Fanbearer. And now we can get away with playing Evolving Wilds, finally. Maybe we'll stop drawing lands. We'll just grab a random land. There's only 6 left in our deck, so it should stop. Or 7, actually, because we have our other wilds. Should stop one of these days, right? Uh-oh. What are they playing now? Hazoret. Okay, well, there's the new creature we want to tap down. Oh, that's wrong. We should not still be drawing lands. We really should not be. I can use Feed right now. It'll only draw me 1 card, but at this point, we're kind of getting into crunch time. So I think I'm going to do it. Okay, Cartouche of Solidarity. Hello. That actually will do some work. We're going to put it on our companion. We get our Trial of Solidarity back. I kind of forgot about that part, but obviously that's good too. Now we have a 4/2 first striker. And yeah, I think I just, in my turn, I can't really attack effectively. He can kill my Initiate's Companion in combat right now. So we're just going to end the turn. All right, we will tap down Hazoret again. So something interesting we can do once we give Fanbearer Vigilance is we can attack and then tap a blocker before blockers are declared. So that's pretty nice. All right, opponent ends their turn there. What do we have? Okay. Well, our opponent almost definitely has something, because otherwise they would have embalmed Talkrop Skirmisher. But I guess just like last time, we say, show us what you have. So, yeah, we will cast Trial of Solidarity. See what happens now. Everyone gets big. So I'm going to attack and tap, which is a little risky, but I do have a Naga Vitalist as a backup plan. Plus, if this deals combat damage, I can attack the Fanbearer anyway, so. Right, so the attack has been declared, and then we will tap down, I guess, Blood Rage Brawler. Does that get us in for lethal? It very well could. It's okay. I don't think it would have. Our opponent could have blocked and just taken 5, but they would have been in bad shape. All right. Well, that went well. Pretty well for the most part. Don't see a reason to bring in another Vizier or any of these Manglehorns or anything. So we're just gonna roll back out there. All right, so we're going into the second game of our first match here, and our hand is a keeper. That again. I think we play Fanbearer first again. This again. This seems familiar. What did they discard this time? Just a land. Okay. Gives it haste. We'll take 4 to the face. Okay, do I want to play Naga Vitalist now instead of Sacred Cat? Maybe. I think I probably do. So I'm going to attack with my Fanbearer. Didn't see any of those Slither Blades in that game, so maybe they don't have them. So yeah, Naga Vitalist. So the reason it's nice to play the Vitalist here is I can cast Feed even if I don't draw another land. Sacred Cat is mostly just going to be a chump blocker to stop a huge Blood Rage Brawler from attacking for like a turn. But my feed token can also just kill Blood Rage Brawler, so we'll take it. Opponent leaves mana up, which I don't like very much. We will cast Feed, or Mouth, I guess, is the one we're casting, isn't it? Right, that resolves. We're going to play this farmland because it appears we are actually going to need that land. And I'm going to attack with my Fanbearer again. So worth the risk, though, like if my opponent uses a trick here. No, it's probably not. It's probably not. We're going to try to just block Blood Rage Brawler. If we can't, it's not the end of the world. We have Sacred Cat to buy us some time. We can tap down the Blood Rage Brawler. So, yeah. Like if our opponent plays Illusory Wrappings, I'd probably just block with the Hippo. Okay, they're just going to hurt me real bad here. They can swing at me for a bunch. I wonder what else my opponent has in his hand, but we're just going to go down. We're just going to take it all. Go down to 5. We do get our Hippo back. Oh, Cartouche of Strength, you say. All right, well, we don't have a good way to kill the Blood Rage Brawler with our Cartouche right now, so I think I'm just going to play another creature who can block it effectively, and then also leave mana up for Fanbearer. Yeah, just in my turn. Okay, Naga Oracle. Nothing too scary. Okay. Does sort of set up our opponent a little better on top of their library, and it's a big creature. Fairly big creature. Could give it haste right now, I guess. Wouldn't do that much, though. I mean, I can just bounce it off of my Hippo. They did just make sure they're not going to draw some lands, though, which is good for them. Not so good for us. All right, so we're going to go like this. Okay, well, that will improve our lives. So I think I play the Cartouche on my Hippo. And I think I also play Sacred Cat here. And I think it's safe to attack with my Hippo. Yeah. Let's get in there, Hippo. We are at fairly low life, but we have Fanbearer to help us out. We have Cartouche of Strength now, which can actually kill the Brawler if we need it to. And we've got lots of blockers. A flyer would be kind of scary, but we do luckily have 2 flyers in our hand, so that doesn't hurt. Hazoret's back, though, so there's that. Especially when you're at 5 life, Hazoret is some bad news. We've got to gain some life back. We can gain a little. I don't know if we can gain enough. So we're going to tap down Hazoret. All right, no attacks, huh? Works for me. I wish I could kill Hazoret. So our opponent can turn every card in their hand into 2 damage to my face. So we need to gain some more life. Sacred Cat can't gain a whole lot on its own. Shed Weakness. Yeah, I guess that kind of helps. We can gain up to 3 life, which right now would make a pretty significant difference. But, I think I'm actually going to put Cartouche of Strength on my Hippo, kill the Naga Oracle, and attack with my Initiate's Companion. Yeah, that's my plan. Actually, because of Shed Weakness, I think I'm going to get a little more aggressive here. This does mean we're going to have to like chump block some stuff, but I think I feel okay about doing this. Okay, so which of these do we want to kill more? If we use Shed Weakness here, we're still going to lose our dude, but we do gain 8 life, which when all of our opponent has is Hazoret. All they're going to have is Hazoret. We're going to kill this Blood Rage Brawler. This dies in combat. So I think we Shed Weakness here, go up to 8, which makes a big difference right now, and kill the other creature die. Yeah, so yeah, we'll remove a -1/-1 counter. All right. So we still have Feed in our graveyard instantly. We just haven't had time to cast it. What does our opponent have? Yeah, they're just going to start doming me. That makes sense. Especially because they can just block forever. No, they're not going to, though. All right, so we're going to throw a warrior token in front of that. Okay. Our lack of mana is frustrating, to say the least. So we're definitely attacking with our Hippo. Then, well, first I think I'm actually going to cycle this Shepherd and then decide what I want to do. Yeah. Another Initiate's Companion. But I think I'd rather just get back my cat. Gaining life seems pretty good. All right. We can tap down Hazoret this time too, or whatever other creature our opponent plays. So we got our opponent in an interesting place. I mean, they're on a pretty short clock too, thanks to our Hippo. We may just have to play... It's interesting he decided to play that land. Does he have like Angler Drake or something? Because that seems insane when I'm at 6 and you can just be pitching lands to kill me. Oh, I forgot to tap him down, but that's okay. I'm just going to block him with a cat. Hopefully he doesn't just have brute strength here. I really should have tapped him down. That was bad. Oh. Changing your mind? You probably should, since I let you get to your attack phase. It's going to get tapped anyway, right? Angler Drake would be backbreaking here, if that's what our opponent's about to play. And... oh, it's just a Cryptic Serpent. Good, but not backbreaking. All right, so... we're going to tap down Hazoret. So... Okay, drawing a land doesn't hurt. I think we attack with our Hippo. Again, first strike is very nice. Drops our opponent to 5. Right now we can swing for 7. It's not really enough. And we're going to hold on to the Sacred Cat and these guys as blockers. We can tap down one of them. And I think I play Hooded Brawler because that gives me another big creature who can attack through Cryptic Serpent. So they may just block, which would be fine with me too. Well, maybe it wouldn't be fine because, yeah, it might not be fine. But I'm surprised our opponent played that land, but I guess it let them play their Cryptic Serpent. All right, so I'm going to play Hooded Brawler. That leaves us mana up to tap something, and we can. Are we gonna have to chump block 2 things? We might actually have to. We do have to because our opponent's gonna have 0 cards in their hand. So I'm gonna have to use my Brawler just to block if my opponent attacks with. Well, they can't attack with both, but so let's tap down Exert. Okay. We definitely chump block with Sacred Cat. No question. Interesting. What do they have? They're just making a zombie, which is pretty annoying right now. All right. Where's our trial, man? That's what we really need. So I can draw 2 cards off of Mouth right now, but I think it's going to be better just to play Top Crop Elite here and hang back, basically. Leaves us the mana to tap something else down. We could attack with our Hippo, I guess, and not feel too bad about it. There's not a lot our opponent can do. They have to block the Hippo. So I think we do attack with our Hippo. Yeah. We don't want to be exerting our Hooded Brawler at this point, though. All right. We still get to trample over for 3, so I'm cool with that. So our opponent can discard 2 cards on their turn to do 4 to us, but that won't be quite enough. So I'm going to play Top Crop Elite. And in my turn. Glad that Naga Vitalist came back because it's been pretty, well, vital in this game. We've needed the extra mana has made a big difference. It's made us develop our board in ways we wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So yeah, we got there. That was a close one. Our opponent could have much more aggressively used Exert and killed us. I think it's worth noting. They probably should have as low as we were, but I'll take a win. So on to our second match. All right, well, we had 2 really good hands in a row. It was bound to end, right? So we're going to send this one back. This one is like the slowest possible hand for us, but we are going to keep it. Okay, I think I want to keep a 2-drop. With Cartouche of Solidarity, it gets to be considerably better. It would be great to draw that 2-drop and then a land and a land, because then we're curving out all of a sudden from a weak hand. And that would be great. So I guess I don't mind having Vizier of Remedies against black-green either, because Splendid Agony is not nearly as good. Okay, so we did draw a 3rd land. And a 4th land, so we're living my dream. My lucky, lucky dream. So we're going to attack. We're going to get in there, apparently. We're going to play Hooded Brawler. And in our turn. So then Top Crop Elite, and then suddenly we're swinging for a ton. So that's the goal. Oh, freaking Soul Stinger. That thing is a problem. The good news is we can take away its 2-for-1 ability by playing Cartouche of Solidarity. It'll only kill 1 thing instead of 2 things. And actually, it'll put 1 less counter on things anyway, so it won't actually kill anything. So I think we want to play our Cartouche here on Hooded Brawler. I guess it'll kill my warrior. but that's okay. Kill my warrior. So we're going to attack. No exertion, just attacking. He can kill my Vizier too. He can kill something, but he's not going to get a 2-for-1, I guess is what my point is. He can either kill the warrior or the Vizier, and that's it. Because the Vizier actually does something. Okay, so it did its thing, and it's gone now. And we'll end our turn. The wilds are evolving. What are they splashing white for? Could be Approach of the Second Sun. Could be Cast Out, probably more likely. Could be the green-white gold card. I don't know. I don't know what their deck looks like exactly. So we're just going to attack with both of these. No exertion necessary. Get in for 5. And I think I'm just going to dump my hand here. Now, there's a chance our opponent has Rags, which gives -2/-2 to my whole board. But this will survive, and this can come back from my graveyard, so that's not the end of the world. So I'm going to play Takrop Elite. And I'm going to play Sacred Cat. And we're going to see what happens now. Something bad. Ah, yeah, Stinging Shot. All right, yeah, that does it. That does kill my poor Takrop Elite. Do they have something else? If they have a kill spell for this, that would suck. Because right now he is very scary. Even without exerting. If he exerts, there's not much that can block him in this format. So wouldn't mind that happening. I mean, him not being able to play anything that can block it is what I mean. All right. End our turn. Some fatty, I'm sure. Ah, no, final reward. Okay, well, it is sad to lose him. Ooh, speaking of fatties. Okay, so I think we just attack with both our creatures. Although there's some value to keeping them when I can play Takrop Elite, isn't there? So never mind. Scratch that. I'm just going to hold on to them and play another Takrop Elite, because then they can attack through Sacred Cat. Yeah, that's better. Talked myself out of a bad move. We got Big Daddy Hydra, too, coming down soonish. For now, I'll just play another Elite. Hope our opponent doesn't have another Stinging Shot or another removal spell in general. So if they don't, we have a pretty nice swing. Of course, it depends what they play. Sheffet Monitor. Okay, well, that definitely slows me down on the ground until I can play my Hydra, and I can't. Maybe they'll play Mind Rot on me or something. That'd be cool. That'd be good, right? So we'll attack in the air. Playing Glorybound Initiate is probably going to make it so my opponent can't attack with their monitor. Depends if they have a kill spell, of course, but... And it means I can exert next turn and get him up to 5 power, which will be enough to kill Sheffet Monitor, so... Oh... No... No. He's going to make all my untapped creatures die. Yeah, they're all dead. Goodbye, untapped creatures. Destined Elite is so good. All right. I do get to gain 1 life. I really need mana for my Hydra, though. That is not it. But I can play it and get my Sacred Cat back from my graveyard. It's not too bad, right? In my turn. Does our opponent have something? Oh, Bantu. Okay. That's frustrating. Still attack in the air. But my opponent obviously has like Sacred Cat, which is good with Bantu. Interesting. Interesting. Is it interesting enough for me to just like attack with everything? I don't think so. I think we just attack in the sky. And we end our turn. Like, come on, can't our opponent just mind rot us? Or whatever, unburden, I guess is what it's called in this format. Just go for it. I'm holding cards in my hand. Don't you want me to get rid of them? Yeah. Bantu. The only good news is if he attacks, I can have a pretty powerful attack if I exert everybody. Well, both my creatures. That's the good news. If my opponent attacks with both, I'm just taking that. I'm on board for 10 damage. You get back your Sacred Cat, of course, but I'm not super concerned about that. Wait, what else are you doing? I'm much more concerned about a Quarry Hauler, though. Damn. I was hoping all they would get back was their cat. Hope. Okay, so... I think we probably just play our Hydra and pass. But we are in trouble, that's for sure. We do have a very nice turn if we can ever get to the point where we can attack again. And our opponent is at 9, so he has to be somewhat conservative blocking. I mean, attacking. We go to 8, they go to 10. What else you got? I would just trade with Sheffet Monitor if it attacks here, obviously. I would just say my Honored Hydra blocks, but that's not what's happening. We're going to take 4. Menace is a menace, indeed. Okay, so... Oh, my. So, that... What does that do for me? It does something. So I can go Cartouche of Strength and kill Sheffet Monitor. Get out of here. Oh, do you have Final Reward in response? Are you a terrible person? What do you have? Oh no, you're just sacrificing it. That makes sense. Go to 3. So does our opponent have a way to untap his Bantu? If our opponent has Jerry's Resolve, this is going to hurt, but we don't really have a choice. So we're just going to attack and exert. We're just going to... Everyone's going in. So everyone untaps except the on-crop champion. And how do you block? So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 13 damage. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage that you're still taking. Yeah. Don't know why they didn't just concede. They had me very worried there. Maybe that's why they didn't. Okay, so we've seen Bantu and Hazoret so far in this draft. You know, Vizier of Deferment's not terrible against Hazoret, but we already have one of those. And Vizier of Remedies is really good here. It made that Sting Scourger a lot less scary. So, yeah, we'll just keep things as is. No artifacts to worry about. All right, well, we got another bad hand. We could think about keeping this one. We do have a turn 3 play, but I think we probably mulligan. We're on the draw. We can do better than this, I think. It's pretty good if we draw white mana, but if we don't, we're in a lot of trouble, so. Okay, that is better. I think I'll put you on the bottom. My deck's gonna get shuffled anyway. After I play Evolving Wilds, so it doesn't really matter. Wow, both of my wilds are evolving. I mean, our opponent knows what we're doing here, so I'm just gonna grab green. Cycling, okay. I'm gonna play my Vizier. Wish I had like 3 of those right now. It makes Cartouche worse. It makes a lot of cards that the black-green deck runs much worse. Okay, so we're gonna get in there. And I'm gonna play Hooded Brawler. All right, there's freaking Soul Stinger again, but we're basically in the same situation. Well, not quite in the same situation because this time I don't have first strike, so Soul Stinger, man. He can't kill both my creatures though either way, because he can only kill one of them. So I think I attack and exert Hooded Brawler. Yeah. Okay, opponent's just going to take it. I am fine with that decision. I'm going to play this Evolving Wilds, and I'm going to play a second Hooded Brawler. So if our opponent puts way more -1/-1 counters on that, that's going to be a little ugly. But you know, stuff happens. I could have played Cartouche of Strength, I guess, in my second main phase. That wouldn't have been terrible. But yeah, when you can just kill your Soul Stinger and play a massive creature at the same time, and your Soul Stinger kills one of your opponent's creatures, it's a pretty nice feeling in this format. They're not going to attack, though. They probably have Final Reward up, which means we need to not play our Cartouche. We just need to assume they have it, honestly. Probably actually want to hold on to Winged Shepherd right now. So I think I just attack with another Brawler here and exert it. Make him do something about it one way or another, right? Yeah. Okay, well that's not good. So the second half of this card is really good, and he's also using this half to help kill this Hooded Brawler. All right. Oh God, do you also have, you have Destined too? Come on. Come on, man. That's messed up. That is messed up. Okay, so I'm going to play my Irrigated Farmland here so that I can play my Winged Shepherd next turn. Yeah, there's a very good chance our opponent just casts, I'm hoping they just cast lead, or not lead, that too, but I'm hoping they cast Finish and lose their warrior, but they're probably going to cast lead first. These are like the 2 best uncommon split cards, I think. So good. Kind of disgusts me. Yeah, so it's great. It's great. 2 cards of value out of 1 card. So I have to block here, which was not going to be enough to kill Soul Stinger. And I take a damage. All right, so I may play my Glorybound Initiate first, trying to draw out removal before I play my Winged Shepherd, but I'm definitely going to attack here. Of Question is, do I exert? I don't think so. I think him untapping seems reasonable. What's happening? Impeccable timing. Well, the good news, I mean, it's not really good news, it's bad news, but they could have done that either way. That's what I'm trying to say. So, even if I'd exerted, they could in response cast impeccable timing, so. All right, so we did draw out finish at least. And now we can try to operate on an axis above Soul Stinger with our flyer. Just not worry about the existence of Soul Stinger and just attack in the sky. That is my plan. And that'll help too, but I think we just tap out here to play Winged Shepherd. We've got Cartouche and Fanbearer, which will help us. We do have our opponent already down to 13 from the early game, but oh, what are they doing? Stinging Shot. No. Stop killing all my flyers. Okay, Fanbearer is going to have to do it now. Oh god, and they're probably playing something. I'm not that afraid of that card. There were worse things going through my head, but we are going to basically have to take 6 here. Our Cartouche is pretty useless right now. So yeah, we're taking 6 to the face. Initiates Companion. We need to draw something spicy here. Not really what I was looking for. But it does give me another chump blocker. If nothing else. You can trade for Initiate's Companion with it. I don't really need that mana at this point. Alright, so we're going to tap down the 4 power guy. And we'll block Initiate's Companion if it attacks with our Vitalist. Okay. He may have a trick, but I say make him use it. Ouch. Okay, well, our board is gone now. We need a creature. We did not get a creature. Our opponent can swing for 6. Even with Evolving Wilds, we're drawing so many lands. I don't think we have anything we can get us out of this if our opponent plays a 3rd creature here. Yeah, and they are. They played Wander in Death. So, what do we draw? Well, if I get really lucky, this might get me out of this. Oh, no, it won't. I don't have enough mana to do all of it. So I was thinking you could play Mouth, use Cartouche, draw a card, and play like a 1-drop creature, but I didn't have that much going on. So on to the final game. Zero Deferment is good against Impeccable Timing, but I think having 1 is plenty. I would like to play first. This is a reasonable keep. We do want to draw maybe another land, but we don't have to. We definitely do want to draw another land, though, I guess. We've been drawing them, so yeah, see? We draw lands. No problem. So I can play turn 3 on Crop Champion, which is a pretty big creature for turn 3. I think that's what we do over playing Top Crop Elite. We just play on Crop Champion. We've got a big Trial of Solidarity turn in our future, potentially, at least. Makes his Exert useless, funnily enough, but... Okay, I think I want to play Top Crop Elite right here. What are the chances my opponent has a trick, though? I can use Vizier of Deferment to... Yeah, let's attack. If our opponent has a trick, we can use the Vizier to avoid it mattering. Even if it's impeccable timing, we can use it to exile our own guy, so... Right, so we're just going to get in for 4 for free, which I'm cool with. And we're going to play... God, our flyers. Maybe we should have cited out some of our flyers, because our opponent always has Stinging Shot. So, going to play Talkrop Elite. Does it eat a Stinging Shot? Not yet. So we could have a very big Trial of Solidarity turn next turn. Okay, interesting. So Vizier of Deferment can do a pretty good job of ignoring Soul Stinger. Or an okay job, I guess. But yeah, that's Soul Stinger. These Soul Stingers have been pretty brutal. Okay, so if I kill Soul Stinger with a fight card, he's also going to kill my creature, so I just get 2 for 1. So, the thing to do here might just be to attack in the air. I mean, I can use Vizier, but I can't play Trial of Solidarity and Vizier in the same turn, obviously. So I think for now, we will just attack in the sky. Yeah, I'll end my turn there. Wish it returned it tapped at least so we could get Soul Stinger out of the way. Freaking Soul Stingers. They are very, very good against aggro decks. They're the card that makes black-green competitive against aggro decks. It's a common, and it can just 2 for 1 the hell out of basically any aggro deck. Which is kind of what's happening to us, so... No, why didn't you attack first so I can use my Vizier? Come on. Come on, man. Okay. Alright. Bring in the Thunder. I'll take 2. And I'm gonna cycle this. Okay. I will attack in the sky again. So here I'm going to play Initiate's Companion. And if my opponent decides to attack with Soul Stinger again, which I kind of doubt now, but I can play Trial of Solidarity next turn for some pretty big returns. A lot of damage. Okay, Bantu. Sure. He doesn't worry me. I can actually exile him. Doesn't really matter, though. It matters when he's attacking. When he's blocking, the block is still declared. So we probably will hold on to our Vizier for those purposes later on in this game. So they're splashing white for start to finish. And, of course, they have that. I wish our opponent would go to combat first so I can at least use my Vizier. Okay, bye-bye. We're in trouble. Soul Stinger's the bane of my existence. He can also just sacrifice this whenever he wants to Bantu, by the way, and kill one of our creatures. So that's a lot of fun. All right. Well, we don't have anything we can do, sadly. We may be about to buckle to the might of Bantu. Anointed Procession. I haven't seen that many tokens. I feel pretty good about my opponent taking a turn to cast Anointed Procession. But our opponent does have a lot of time right now. Like, we have no pressure, so if they've got it, then that's going to be good for them. Okay, Hooded Brawler. Can you get big enough to kill anything with a cartouche? Only after I cast, like, Trial of Solidarity. All right. Just turn ending. Oh god, are they about to make 6 zombie tokens? Don't make 6. Okay, no. They're just killing a guy. I'm okay with that. At least when you compare it to making 6 zombie tokens, you know? Okay, so they can make 2 sacred cat tokens. All right. Right, flooding continues. We can get rid of tokens permanently with our Vizier, by the way, so that's kind of cool. We're probably going to use Vizier here just to exile Bantu, though, so we don't take 4 damage. Seems like a reasonable use of Vizier of Deferment. Wish I had cast out or something like it, but I'm just going to Vizier. Say, get out of here. Right, they're going to get 2 cat tokens to sacrifice to their Bantu. Isn't that great? I think it's great. Okay, so I'm going to play a Bitterblade Warrior. I could Cartouche of Strength. I could Trial of Solidarity. Just to kill a cat. But that doesn't really seem worth it. I'm going to hold on to the Cartouche for a bigger turn with it. It's not going to make a big difference if we kill a cat, you know? I mean, our opponent has plenty of fuel for Bantu at this point. Too bad we didn't get the Enchantment Hate card, because it would be pretty good. Here comes Bantu. We'll take 4. Okay. If I could just get a turn where he lets me keep the new creature that I play and play Cartouche of Strength and Trial of Solidarity in the same turn, I will be very happy. Now, again, he can sacrifice Soul Stinger to Bantu at a lot of different points and mess us up. But what we really need is to be able to exert both of these. Yeah. They are scrying, so they've increased the how good their draws are going to be by a significant margin. So I can actually play the to Trial first and then the Cartouche. That's probably better, right? So is it better to just play Hooded Hydra? No, I don't think so. We're going to play Trial of Solidarity here. Okay. So now the question is, if I use Cartouche of Strength, my opponent will in response probably sacrifice their Soul Stinger. But if I use it on a creature who's big enough that the 2 tokens from Soul Stinger won't kill it anyway, I end up getting 2 blockers out of the way, basically. So I'm going to put Cartouche of Strength here. See if our opponent has something for me. Okay. We are going to kill Initiate's Companion. Probably just sacrifices it in response. That's what we're hoping. All he can do is sacrifice it in response and not kill Hooded Brawler. Oh, God. Well, it's still going to die, okay? It's just not going to be quite as good for us. I don't have to use the ability anymore, it's worth noting. So, I don't think I do now. Okay. Everybody got Vigilance. Everybody get in there. And we can cast Trial of Solidarity again next turn. Oh, God. Impeccable timing on somebody, I'm sure. I'm hoping that's all it is. Yeah. Okay, so our opponent can mess us up pretty bad here, but yeah, so they take 11. They go to 4. They get to put 2 counters somewhere. And now I end my turn. So my opponent now is sort of out of gas, but I'm sure they have something in their hand. They have so many cards in it. Quarry Hauler. Yeah, they're going to kill my Hooded Brawler. Now the question is, do you sacrifice something to Quarry Hauler? Do you just go for it here? No. Doing something else. Our opponent's Bantu deck is gross. Oh yeah, Wandering Death's good with Bantu too. Okay, so we're just going to play a Giant Hydra, who does have Trample. We're going to end our turn. Oh good, they have a zombie to sacrifice to him now too. I think we're probably losing. If our opponent hadn't interacted with us so much on that Trial of Solidarity turn, we'd be a lot happier. Oh, also he gets 2 zombies, that's right. Great, great. Great. My opponent can sack a zombie here and attack with both of these creatures, and then that is a pretty ugly turn for me. He knows I have my Trial in my hand, but yeah. This is definitely a built-around Bantu deck that came together. It doesn't always. I've had him be good, I've had him be bad. He's just harder to build around than the other gods, which I think I mentioned in the draft. I think we saw Bantu, and I was like, we're not in black anyway, but even if we were, it wouldn't have been a guaranteed pick right there. So our opponent is calculating here. If they sacrifice 2 zombies, that drops me to... No, they can't do that, because then they would be attacking with... lose all their creatures, and they would just die to Honored Hydra. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. They may hold on to Bantu to block. That's not a bad plan to have. All right, now we find out what's going on. Nothing. Okay, so what can we draw? Okay, another cartouche is pretty spicy. If our opponent lets us do these things. Or if they have a way to interact. They may have a way to interact. If they do, we're in a lot of trouble. Cast out right there would have made me so sad. So just kill this guy. Kill the Quarry Hauler. It's going to get sacrificed in response probably. In which case I will not fight. Because I won't have anything to fight. Bantu will be able to block. He goes up to 5. He can kill my Honored Hydra in combat, but he has to lose both of his zombies. I think we attack. Probably should have attacked with this guy too, I guess. Yeah, so he's going to block with everything. He may have a way to make these guys indestructible anyway, which will sicken me, but you know, what are you going to do? So try to kill these 2 guys. If he gives one of them indestructible, it's not going to be pretty. He did not. And we just have to hope he's out of Bantu fuel. Like, that's what we have to hope for here. He's probably not, though. Yeah, he's got something to feed to Bantu. Yeah, you could feed that to Bantu. I wouldn't be too upset about it, though. Okay. So, I don't need to tap that much mana to get my guy out of my graveyard. I forget he's like ludicrously cheap as a embalmed creature. And also, Glorybound Initiate. Oh, too much mana. Why don't you guys have haste? Come on. So, this is going to be a very close finish. If our opponent has a lot of things, we're dead. Or as good as dead. Because we're going to have to double block Bantu. Now, our Hydra will not die in combat against Bantu. But we could get there here, thanks to the trial in our hand. We've cast it twice and we haven't been able to win. If we cast it a third time and we have a board like this, surely we would. But it just depends what our opponent has. I wish I had Anointed Procession right now. 2 Honored Hydras is even better. So if Bantu attacks, I block with Honored Hydra and Naga Vitalist. I don't think there's much of a question about that. Does he have more removal for me? He does have a lot of it. Soul Stinger. That's not removal, but he can use it to kill my Glorybound Initiate. This is a very, very tense game. So yeah, he's going to sacrifice that. Oh, just going to put counters on him? I'm sort of okay with that. I guess it makes it so he can't survive in combat anymore. And if you attack with both, I have to double block, but I will double block with... no, he does have me in an interesting... I have an interesting conundrum here. This can die to impeccable timing, and this can't. Stupid 3 toughness, too. I think we keep the guy with trample. Although I guess gaining life is significant, too. So Naga Vitalist is definitely blocking, but... this would gain me 5 life. 6 life. Put me up to 11. But if my opponent has impeccable timing, I'm just screwed. Whereas Honored Hydra at least takes this down with him and maybe makes it so Bantu can't attack me next turn. Yeah, I think we gotta block like this. No, it hurts my soul. Okay. Land. That's what I wanted. All right, so we're going to play Trial of Solidarity. We're going to attack. It says say another creature, at least. Okay, so he's going to trample over. My opponent has to have some Bantu fuel or they're dead. And if they have Bantu fuel, we're dead. Right? We don't have anything with Embalm. No. Just double checking that. That would be a pretty big punt. They just cycled. So please don't drop Bantu fuel. Looks like they probably did though. They would have scooped, right? I mean, any creature wins them the game. Yeah. All right. We lose, but it was an epic game. Should I have kept the lifelink? Maybe. Maybe. But that was a good match. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully we can finish 2-1. I feel like our deck's strong enough to do that. So hopefully we will. All right, we're going to the final match of an Amonkhet draft. Our deck is pretty strong, but we are 1-1. We would like to go 2-1 at least with this deck, I think, and I would like to play first. It's not a good start, so obviously sending that hand back. Oh, man. Sometimes, you know, you have to have not bad opening hands. I think we got to send this one back too. Even though we have 2 2-drops and we have a cycler, if I had a plains, I might keep it, but I don't. So we're going down to 5. And this seems okay, given the fact that it's 5 cards. And sure, I'll leave this on top. I think I want to draw it, so I'm actually not going to use my Evolving Wilds until after I draw it, because it gives me a 3-drop that has a little more punch than our Vizier does. Is this going to be like the 3rd deck we see where... No, definitely an aggressive one. Flameblade Adept is solid in super aggressive decks. Especially if you can cartouche it up and stuff. So we'll end our turn. We'll get a Forest, I guess, with our Evolving Wilds. It's kind of bad, you know, and like you kind of have to hope sometimes when you mulligan to 5 that your opponent has issues too. Like if things just go right for them, it's just hard to win, unless you have an absolute bomb in your deck. And I don't think we have anything that bombastic in our deck. Even our Giant Worm, like it's great, but it can't just like win the game single-handedly. And they are off to a slow start, other than playing their Flameblade Adept. That might be good for us. It doesn't really matter what we get, but I guess I'll get a Forest. All right, now I might be a little more interested in playing Mouth than Hooded Brawler. No, I don't think I am. I think I'll play Hooded. The thing about the Brawler is it can die to Magma Spray, though. Yeah, let's play Mouth. Just cast Mouth. Hippo art for you. Not as much can kill it this early in the game. And we already get it. We already sort of have it cashed in our graveyard, ready to be used once we have some, you know, additional 3-power creatures in play if we want to do it. Opponent's either monocolored or color screwed. There are occasionally people who can draft mono red decks in this format, and they are pretty scary when you can make it happen because that deck has some serious curve outs. But what I'm hoping is my opponent taps out for something that I can just kill with Cartouche of Strength here, and then I think we can maybe... Well, now we're not going to do that. We're just going to attack with our Hippo. Then probably play Hooded Brawler, who has a very good chance of just dying to a Magma Spray, but, you know, it happens. So, yeah, we'll play our Brawler. Did not eat a Magma Spray yet, so I like that. So as long as my opponent plays something that I can kill with the Cartouche that doesn't kill my Hippo, I'm pretty happy. If they play something bigger, I'm a little less happy. Yeah, well, Electrify is fine. They had to trade down at least, you know. It's the way to look at that. Opponent's just going to keep attacking with their Jackal, and we'll keep attacking with our Hippo. Okay, Trial Solidarity is pretty medium right now, so we're just gonna get in there with our Hippo. It's less than medium, really. I could play it just to get in for more damage. It's a little late now, and I guess since I have Cartouche of Strength in my hand, it's not the worst, but it doesn't seem great either. Like, I'd at least rather get this Vizier of Deferment in play if I'm going to do something, you know? So far, mulliganing to 5 doesn't seem like we're completely behind our opponent, you know? They haven't had a great start, though. Like I said, you kind of have to hope to some extent. Okay, we're at least going to be able to get rid of this Cartouche, which I'm pretty happy about because of our Vizier. So it will make, you know, it won't do anything right now, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I would rather be able to set up a block, and then maybe my opponent also uses a combat trick. That feels great when that happens. But yeah, our opponent's definitely mono-red aggro all the way. So we may want to actually bring in a second Vizier because they're going to be running Cartouches and combat tricks. And we can use our Vizier to make that a little less effective. Okay. All right, so now we do play our trial, I'd say. Seems worth it now. All right. And we're just going to bash. All right, we get in for 9, so we're doing pretty well. But like I said, I think my opponent's color screwed, so we had to hope for something to go wrong for our opponent to have our mulligan to 5 hand work out. We also drew pretty well. I mean, drawing mouth to feed is pretty good, and yeah, I think our opponent was just completely color screwed. So free win, even though we mulligan to 5, feels good because, yeah, but I think we do want to bring in our second Vizier. Our opponent seems like they're a very aggressive red deck. If we can get rid of cartouches that are pumping their creatures and combat tricks, I feel pretty good about that. What do we cut, though? Maybe a companion. They're just not going to block very well. Maybe Sacred Cat even more so, actually. Yeah, let's lose a cat. Companions can at least like trade for 3 toughness creatures and stuff. Occasionally untap something. Yeah, I think having another Vizier is good here. Okay, another pretty bad hand. It's not actually as bad as our last one was. It has 1 land in it, but it's still pretty bad. We have Fanbearer in our cartouche, and if we don't draw lands, we're just dead. So we are going to mulligan again. Okay, we've only got white mana, but everything we have in our hand is white, and we have a cycler, so we have blue mana too, but it doesn't really matter. Do I actually want to draw this Plains? I guess I do. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. We're gonna play our Fanbearer first. Yeah, here's some aggro. Play Fanbearer. Next turn we'll probably play Irrigated Farmland and cycle our Winged Shepherd, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. See what our opponent's second color is probably in this game. But maybe they are mono red. But if that's the case, I don't know what was going on with their hand last game. Because they had a hand full of cards. Maybe they were all creatures. I mean, all lands, but that seems unlikely too. So our opponent probably going to exert here. If he doesn't, do I block? I don't think so. I don't think I do if he doesn't exert it. He is exerting it, so thinking about it is irrelevant. So we'll take 3. Okay, wilds. I think we play that now because it gets us our green. Does mean we can't tap anything down, which kind of also means we may as well attack. Although I can play Cartouche of Solidarity and make this a much better blocker and get a token out of the deal. That doesn't seem bad right now, actually. So, yeah, let's do that. Let us play our Cartouche. I mean, it would have been nice to play our Trial first, but we don't exactly have an aggressive hand anyway. In this way, we're not like completely opening ourselves up to a bunch of damage. We have some defense in place. And I'll grab a Forest with this Wild, and we'll be set on mana too. Our mana is pretty awesome in this deck, thanks to the 2 wilds. It's funny, anytime I've like wanted to splash, I can't find Evolving Wilds, and then in this deck, we got 2 of them, no problem. No problem. Opponent might be stuck on 2 lands now, which really sucks for them. After game 1, where I think something happened to their mana. It may have happened again this game. They have to have a second color because they had like 4 cards in their hand. And they weren't dropping lands every turn either, so they're having very bad luck. Okay, ooh. That's gonna hurt when they give it haste. Not like that's the first time we've seen this today, but yeah, it's definitely gonna hurt. See what they discard. Some more information wouldn't hurt. Mountain. So that doesn't give us much in terms of information. I'm sure they give it haste. I think I just take it. I don't even... Oh, blue. That's her secondary color. There we go. I think I just take it to the face. I think I just take the 4. At this point, I think that's better. We have Trial of Solidarity in our hands, so pumping our guys, being as wide as possible seems ideal. And we'll take the 4. Now, after this turn, we probably start tapping the dude down. But we'll see. Grab our forest. Another land. Okay, well, I'm going to play this irrigated farmland, and I'm going to end my turn. Might pitch my Winged Shepherd, see if we can hit some more creatures. You wouldn't think we were a 19 creature deck. The way this hand's going. We have more creatures than lands. 3 more creatures than we have lands. So... yeah, I'll tap down the Brawler. If he doesn't exert this, I block it with my Warrior. If he exerts it, we just take it. Yeah, he's going to exert it. We go to 10. Not a great place to be. We need to draw some action to get our way out of this, but it does mean we'll only have 1 creature to tap down next turn, most likely, anyway. So we'll take the 3, go to 10. Opponent is running out of gas, at least. I'm sure they're going to play another creature, though. That is not something I think would be ideal. If they leave all their mana up, it might mean they have commit to memory or something, which would be bad news. Okay, fling. Okay, well... that makes sense. All right, good. Big creature. I knew they were around, so we'll play our big guy here. Question is, do I use him to block Blood Rage Brawler? I don't know that I will. Let's see what our opponent does. I think I need to chump block the Brawler at this point, but... Trial of Knowledge. Okay, well, I was saying our opponent is out of gas. They're getting some of it back. You don't see very many super aggressive red decks that run Trial of Knowledge, but it's working out okay here for our opponent, I think. I may just take another 4, which is, I know, kind of extreme, but then I have a Trial of Solidarity turn. We get in for a bunch of damage, and then I feel pretty good about things. Oh, Cartouche of Zeal. That's brutal here. Yeah. They're going to get their trial back. They're going to make my on-crop champion unable to block. Surprising they didn't put it on the Brawler, though. Because then the Brawler... oh, no, I guess it would only be a 5/4, so... still couldn't exactly brawl with our champion and survive. So we're going to have to chump block here now, I think. I think that's the plan. Take 2, go to 8. Opponent's going to reload, which is not awesome for us. So, Warrior. Ugh. Doesn't feel like we have any creatures in our deck, does it? I think we want to cast Winged Shepherd next turn. So, I think I'm just going to cast Trial of Solidarity here. Get in for 6. We're not going to exert. There's no reason to. Drop our opponent to 14 at least. And then in my turn. So our opponent can play the trial again. Which isn't awesome. That's probably what they're going to do. They do at least spend a turn doing that, giving us some time to try to figure out what it is we want to do. I think I have to block the Brawler with my champion. I'm fairly certain that that's what we need to do. Wow. Okay. Opponent has so many Cartouche of Zeals plus Trial of Knowledge. It's pretty gross. I feel like if we had like a real start for our deck involving, you know, curving out, we had a shot here, but now we go to 1. We go to 1 here, and our opponent can also reload again. Okay. Well, I'm going to play this Shepherd just in my turn. All we can hope for is to just block these two guys and live long enough, but our opponent's going to draw more cards and stuff, so sort of delaying the inevitable, again, because we don't have a huge bomb that can just win us the game. Not when we're at 1 and our opponent's at 14 anyway. So we just need a nice curve out. We need to not mulligan in our third game. Yeah, Trial of Knowledge. You have gained a lot of knowledge in this game, sir. Got to block both of these. If he has another Cartouche, we're just dead. If he has a creature that he can attack with this turn, as well as the Insider, we're dead. We're dead to a lot of things. Manticore of the Gauntlet, Trial of Zeal, which I'm sure they have. Well, I should say I'm sure. It isn't uncommon, but given our opponent's deck, I wouldn't... Oh, there's Slitherblade. So our opponent can just kill us with that next turn, even if we pull off some blocking here. So now we have to draw... What draw do we have that can save us here? Cartouche won't quite do it because we can't cast our creature and play the Cartouche. Yeah, he's just gonna make us... He's just gonna make us block. I think he should. Well... No, we're dead. Slitherblade is unblockable. Okay. All right. Well, that didn't go as planned. At all. Do we want impeccable timing? Gives us a way of dealing with those Slitherblades, for example. Our opponent's going to be attacking us a lot. Maybe cut like Winged Shepherd, which is sort of just overcosted for a matchup this aggressive. Yeah, let's try that. No mulligans, no mulligans. Well, this is a hand where if we draw land, we're great, but if we don't, we're screwed. So we, again, have to mulligan. Okay, this one's reasonable, mostly because Glorybound Initiate's in it. Let's see what's on top of our library. Do I want to draw Top Crop Elite? I probably do. So I'm not actually going to play Evolving Wilds first, as I normally would. I've also got Shed Weakness. If we can just keep this Initiate alive, it's going to be pretty awesome. I haven't actually seen like the Magma Sprays one would expect in this matchup. Not yet. No 1-drop, huh? All right. Now I'm going to play Glorybound Initiate. Probably going to see a Magma Spray now. I have a feeling. Nope. So next turn we probably play our Wilds. Blood Rage, freaking Brawler, huh? That's okay. I kind of hope my opponent just tries to trade with my Initiate. That's my dream here. So I can use Shed Weakness. Or Impeccable Timing. Either one will work. So we're going to attack and exert. Gaining life against a deck like this one's a pretty big deal. Because they just only... granted, I was going to say they run out of gas, but our opponent actually has Trial of Zeal, or Trial of Knowledge. So would we rather shed weakness here? I think we would. So that works out for us. We gain a bunch of life. We will play Evolving Wilds now. I'm just going to sacrifice it now. Grab a Plains, and end my turn. Dude is exerted, but we can play Top Crop Elite, and then the next turn play Glorybound Initiate again. So now we actually have another creature on board. We have Impeccable Timing if we want to use it. But we are behind again, thanks to our mulliganing. In terms of gas, I guess I'd say we're behind. We're ahead on board right now, but that could rapidly change. You know our opponent has Fling, so that's basically the only removal spell we've seen. If he attacks here, I just think I just take it. We got a lot of life to play with. He's not even exerting, but that's okay with me. I'll definitely take 2. There's no point there really in our opponent exerting because our guy could still trade for his. So that's probably why it went the way it did. Hello, Hydra. Okay, well, I think I exert again. Do I attack with my companion too? I don't think so. Opponent might bounce or Glorybound Initiate, but that's not that big of a deal. If they bounce it, we just recast it. So, yeah, I mean, we can't also play Top Crop Elite this turn, which is what we're hoping to do. But it's... yeah, they are bouncing it. All right. Well, they milled our cartouche. A cartouche. We will replay Glorybound Initiate. And we have mana up for Impeccable Timing. They milled Injury, which it's worth noting. I probably should have noted that before I played Glorybound Initiate. That is gross. Opponent used Winds of Rebuke and like milled the exact... one of the few cards in their deck, I'm sure, that has value out of the graveyard. And it can kill our Glorybound Initiate, so... not great for us. Not great. Why couldn't we have milled our Honored Hydra? So, bye-bye, Glorybound Initiate. It's been real. It's been real. So, do I Impeccable Timing one of these guys? I think it's not a bad plan. Yeah, I think I'll kill the Entangler here. Okay, we're gonna attack. He has like pseudo vigilance because he'll just untap himself. And then I think I want to play Hooded Brawler. Could have untapped the land, I guess, but it's whatever. I guess at least I didn't have to deal with insult and injury in the same turn. I guess we could look at it that's the bright side here. We'll take 1. Maybe more if our opponent cycles. I haven't seen them do it yet. Okay, interesting. Land, all right. So we're going to attack with both of these guys. I'm sure he has a way to kill or bounce one of them. Because it's kind of crazy not to, because I can actually untap the Brawler so he can exert himself again next turn. Okay, our opponent is a little crazy, I guess. Or just has no answer, but leaving this back to block this would have been reasonable. we will play Top Crop Elite and an Evolving Wilds. So can we get there? Attack with all and exert everybody next turn seems pretty powerful, especially if our opponent, again, has no answers here. Probably not attacking this time, yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Talk up elite number 2, huh? All right, so we're going to attack and exert away. So even if he does block here, he can't actually kill the companion once it's pumped. So it is just a chump block, and our opponent actually takes 9 if they actually have to block our brawler, basically, which we can then untap again. Might be better to untap our Top Crop Elite though. I think it probably will be. See if our opponent has something here. No, so we're going to tap the Elite. And we're going to play another Elite. And that should probably do it. We had a nice curve out in that game, and things went our way. So, opponent, in game 1 and 3, our opponent had really bad luck, though, to be fair. But hey, we went 2-1. This deck was probably capable of 3-0. I've 3-0'd with worse decks in this format. But, you know, there's variance in Magic. It's part of what we love about it. And going 2-1 with it is reasonable. I'm happy to do that. So thanks for watching. If you want to see more draft videos, don't forget to subscribe here. I post one basically every week. Soon I'll be taking a break while I do Hour of Devastation Limited reviews, but pretty much every week you can find a draft video here on the Aether Hub. Every week on my channel, Nizzahon Magic, you can find a draft video. And here on the Aether Hub, in addition to my draft videos, you can find all sorts of great content from other great MTG content creators. So it's a great place to subscribe if you want even more than draft content. So thanks for watching.